Hey guys, Lord here, back in with another action figure review. Today we'll be continuing our looks at the Star Wars Black Series Bad Batch team with Crosshair. This, of course, brought to us by the fine folks over at Hasbro, as well as my good buddy Evil Villain, who was nice enough to sell me this guy for retail price. I think I actually did buy this off him. If not, I did trade him something for it as usual. But I'm pretty sure I bought this one off him. So I will leave a link in the description below to his Instagram. Head on over there, give him a follow, let him know Overlord sent you. All that good noise. But as always, don't be a jerk face like Crosshair here and turn to the Empire, or Villain will give you the business. I mean, I will too, but he will first. That said, yeah, isn't Crosshair kind of the jerk-off of the team? I mean, I think he was always cocky, but he does, like, defect and turn kind of evil, right? I know Hunter, I think, is the team leader. Wrecker is the bruiser, like the strong dude of the team. Tech, of course, is the tech guy. He does machines. And then Echo is the creepy guy of the team, because he's a decaying cyborg. Can't go wrong with that, right? But with that being said, before we get too far ahead of ourselves here, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Crosshair has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with his helmet, which has a flip-down little doodad there. Which the peg for this is on the inside. If you heat this up, you can probably pop this out if you didn't like it, but I imagine he's supposed to have it. It's the little viewfinder. I think Captain Rex, excuse me, has one of these. Maybe one of the other clone commanders. But it's a harder plastic piece compared to the helmet. Just a little bit more rubbery. But it's not too rubbery to where it'll lose its shape. So that's a plus. That said, he also comes with a little pistol. I think it's the same pistol that Hunter came with, just maybe a different color. And then, of course, since I did mention he is the cocky sniper, he, of course, has to come with one of those. Now, you can get him to two-hand this. It's not that difficult, but might need to heat and pinch the hands a little closed, because the grip will widen over time and sometimes has a tendency to drop it. Like most Black Series figures, their hands get warped over time and all that fun noise, all that jazz, as they say. Then he does, of course, come with a backpack, which I think is the same backpack as Hunter's once again. So that's your lot for accessories. Not as much as Hunter, but a decent spread, I will say. So taking a closer look at Crosshair, he has, of course, the face paint going on a little bit. He's got some slick back hair, and this is one of the harder characters to get from this Bad Batch series. I remember trying to get this guy before, and he was like sold out everywhere, and the only one available was the Imperial version. I had to turn to the cheeseburger helper from Family Guy and be like, no, it's not the same, because I wanted this one, because it went with Hunter, and went with Wrecker. I think I had Tech at the time. I know I didn't have Echo, but I think I had the other three, so when I got this guy, I was elated. So again, shout out to Evil Villain for that. You didn't have to do that. He's Evil Villain, but he's actually a nice guy, if you're not a jerk-off, like Crosshair here. But as far as his articulation goes, his head will look up, down, tilt side to side. So why don't we throw on his helmet and do the helmet test. His helmet's a little tighter than Hunter, so be careful you don't scuff the paint doing that. But I'm never going to take the helmet off, so what do I care? The helmet does have a little roll on it, too. Like, alright, this helmet's crooked. It's not actually on his head. Oh, boy. There we go. Now it's on his head. It was like pulling off a little bit there. But there. He pretty much gets the same range. Just make sure you don't yank his helmet off his head when you're posing him. Pretty sure that's how it's supposed to sit, but it sits a little funny on him. I'm used to helmet being a little bit more snug front to back, I guess. But yeah, pretty much the same range with or without the helmet. As As far as the shoulders go, again, like Hunter, they will rotate all the way around because the pauldron is connected on the inside where the shoulder joint is. So you can lift the arm up, not have to worry about it too much. No butterfly on this guy. Again, some of these Bad Batch guys do have that. It would have been helpful on him, but you can't get him in a good sniper pose without it. He's got a single jointed elbow, swivel at the elbow, swivel and a hinge at the wrist, up and down on this side, in and out on this side. I guess it's fine. You know, he's not going to hold the pistol and the sniper at the same time. He does have a diaphragm joint that can crunch that far forward, that far back. Be mindful of this belt. It is a floaty belt, but it is pretty snug on there, so when you go to turn the torso, make sure you turn the belt with it, because it is glued around his chest area here, so you don't want to tear that. But I haven't noticed any issues with it myself, but your mileage may vary. He can tilt, of course. He's got his little pistol holster there. Again, I wish Hunter had one of those. You can kick forward, you turn the leg. You can kick out pretty well. He's got a thigh cut. Swivel at the knee. Single jointed knee. Again, really good bend out of that. This guy had tight knees from the get-go, so that was nice. And then he does have a hinge in the foot with a rocker. And that's your lot. So a very nice figure. He put his pistol in his holster here. Like clicks in there, so that's a plus. He got his backpack, which again is keyed. I love that. That is a blessing in disguise. Those of you who are G.I. Joe Classified collectors, you know darn tootin' that freaking those backpacks, you can plug them in crooked, and then you try to turn them and it wants to twist the peg. Oh, I hate backpacks that are not just keyed on the figure, but I guess it is a little easier to adjust it to get it how you want, but just put it in the right way the first time and you don't have to do that, right? That's why I like the keyed backpacks on these Bad Batch dudes. So with that being said, it's time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here's good old Crosshair alongside a couple other members of the Bad Batch we'll be taking a look at on the channel this week. We have Wrecker, who's a deluxe figure. That's why he's so large in charge. And we also have Tech, the quote-unquote Donatello of the Bad Batch team. At least that's what I've heard through the grapevine. So, yeah, I think they all scale quite nicely together. Moving them out of the way so we can make room for our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith, who, unlike the Hunter video, actually just like the Hunter video, he was way off screen again. As well as the infamous 11 Spawn, who, as usual, not only towers over everyone, but is almost never almost off screen, unless it's because he's so large and in charge in his own right. So, with that being said, it is time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from being relatively difficult to obtain, good old Crosshair here, much like Hunter before him, is a very welcome addition to the Star Wars Black Series line, especially if you are, again, a fan of this Bad Batch series, or like me, the Clone Wars series. So, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this review, until next time, catch you guys later.